I'm going to give everybody just a minute or two more to get logged in. All right, I don't want to take up too much of anybody's time, so we'll go ahead and get started. Through the chat, I'm sending the agenda for this evening, and also one of the first things we need to do is approve the minutes from the last meeting, as well as the meeting in March. So I've just attached those, but I also posted them on Facebook earlier this week. So hopefully someone has taken the time to read those. If you want to read them right now, I don't think they're too long. And then somebody go ahead and make a motion to approve the minutes from both meetings.
I'll move to approve them.
Thank you, Patty.
I'll second it. This is Shauna.
Thank you, Shauna. And all in favor?
Aye.
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 Right, great, thank you. So for the agenda, one of the things that we do need to talk about is a budget. It's pretty pared down this year. You know, we are hoping to maybe do some kind of fundraiser in the spring, you know, whether that is like a SNAP raise or something like that, some kind of donation drive. We are definitely trying to plans for something, you know, when things are maybe a little back to normal, hopefully. If you want to go ahead and look at the budget, we're not voting on it tonight because according to our bylaws, we have to have it posted for a certain number of days before we approve it. So this is just, I'm putting it out there. This is kind of introducing it tonight, and then I will actually go ahead and post it on Facebook for people to review and approve or vote on later next week. The main change is that we have increased the hospitality budget substantially just to cover box lunches for parent-teacher conferences for the teachers. This is something that we've been able to do at a much lower cost in the past, but due to being able to provide them in the safest manner possible and still provide that nourishment to the teachers, because they don't get to leave the school in order to eat before they start their conferences. So we have raised the budget for hospitality to cover that, as well as hopefully some other activities that we'll get to have, you know, assuming that things are going to hopefully get back to normal in the spring. So like I said, we're not voting on it tonight. We're just, this is just an introduction. So, and then I will post it on Facebook and hopefully get some good feedback and get it voted on next week. So, for officer reports on the agenda, since we are kind of a little behind here, we've had some people not able to continue to be treasurer, so Tara Roper has agreed to do that again for us. But we, you know, things have been kind of slow to get started, and since we don't have a budget, I don't know that Tara really has anything to share, but Tara, if you'd like to say anything about the treasurer, any treasurer business, you're welcome to. She might still be connecting her audio, so. And then Joelle is the vice president for the high school. She's not on right at the moment, and the vice president for the middle school is not on either. Any class reps? And I think you might, or you and Shauna, well, and Tara might be the only ones.
I would just say we're in the middle of poinsettia sales. And so if you know any juniors or seniors, make sure that they have that information and they're selling poinsettias. I know things are weird right now, not being in school, but it's still something that I think people will be interested in buying. They're beautiful, healthy plants. They only cost $10, and it really is a good fundraiser for us. And we're going to get back to normal at some point, and we're going to need the money for Grad Fest. So please encourage juniors and seniors to sell. And if you don't have a junior or senior, you can still buy a plant or more. And that information is on the PTSA page, or you can let me know and I'll get it to you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Shauna. Anne, anything to add?
I don't have anything to add. I appreciate Shauna taking the lead on this. And I did ask if we could just do donations if people didn't want to buy a plant, and she said absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Okay, great. Mr. Vinyard, any principal update you want to share?
Yes, and me and Rachel McAnany will be giving information tonight. First couple things just on the calendar coming up. We have, and I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of soccer duty, so I'm in a car. I apologize about that. But we have fall break coming up next week from the 14th to the 16th. Also through the 18th, so all the way through fall break in that weekend, we're allowing all students to make up any past work that they have not done or turned in. And the idea behind that is we want them to get caught back up and back on track. So anything that they need to be reaching out to their teachers. All of the assignments should be unlocked from the past. I know we've had a couple situations where a teacher missed one or two. So if you are missing, or if your kid does not have access to an assignment, please make sure you reach out to the teacher so they can get that unlocked for them. Let's see. Content is being loaded by Monday of every week. So next week, we are not adding any new content. Teachers will be available for kids all day Monday and Tuesday if they got questions on past items or need them to help them locate something that they're missing. No new content next week. But returning after fall break on October the 19th, we will be, all the content for the week will be loaded already. The kids do have the ability to work ahead. I know that some people have been saying that, their kids are bogged down. They do not have to wait till that day to start assignments. They can work ahead anytime if they need help. They'll probably have to wait till the day that's being taught if it's something, a lesson that's going to be a live lesson. But they can work ahead on some of their asynchronous work. Tests and quizzes. So we've had some issues. Our teachers want our assessments to be valid. And so in order for that to happen, they're wanting to put a time limit. We've talked to the district to make sure that this is the same across every high school in the district. Teachers, when they have a quiz or test, are going to be able to open that up for a 24-hour period. If the student cannot make that test, and this is really important for your kids to be looking at their schedule on Mondays to see what they're doing throughout the week. But if they're not able to make that test time because they're working or because they're having to babysit or whatever's going on in the home, they'll have to reach out to the teacher to set a time where they can open it back up so they can finish that test or quiz. And all this stuff, all the work, all the assignments are due by 11:59 on Sunday evening. That is going to cause a lag in the grading and those grades being entered. Our teachers are going to have grades entered by the Friday of the following week. And I know that sounds like a lot, but when they have some kids turning in multiple assignments or have to grade them all, they can't get that done over the weekend or Monday or Tuesday. So throughout the week, they're getting those things graded and entered into the grade book. We do have our first progress reports coming out. We are having some issues, and me and Rachel were actually talking before we got on here. Some kids, stuff is synced up completely fine between Canvas and PowerSchool, and there are some bugs. And so sometimes it is something on the teacher side, sometimes it is something it just takes 24 hours to sync the stuff up. But we are working on these issues and trying to figure out what exactly is leading to the confusion. I'm sorry for that. I know that it's been frustrating for parents and students, but we are actually searching for solutions to make sure that we can make it right. Parent-teacher conferences are going to be on October 22nd and October 27th. They will be from 4:15 until 8 p.m. These will be virtual conferences. I will be sending out information by Monday with the how we're going to do those and how parents are going to be able to sign up for them. Unfortunately, because of the time constraints, and I think that 10 minutes is probably enough to have a good conversation with a parent, but there could be a situation where we might have more need for that teacher's time than we actually have time in those 2 nights. And we will find a way for overflow so that people can leave their name and number and they can make an appointment at a different time. But doing this virtually is going to be really different, and being able to push the information out and the Zoom links out, we're still working on a way to make that as easy as possible for the families. And those conferences will be from 4:15 to 8 p.m. on both evenings. November 2nd through 6th is going to be an intersession week. Students will not have school that week. Intersession is going to be a time when we're having interventions for kids that are behind or needing more help. They will be very targeted. Teachers will be reaching out and making appointments with those students to come in to receive that intervention that they're needing. And that's all I have. Rachel's going to talk a little bit about assessments and dates coming up.
Can I, this is Shauna.
Oh, yeah.
Can I ask you, or I just want to say something. Well, I'm going to put something out there. First, I appreciate the extension of October 18th for catch-up work. But I'm just wondering if you might consider, one of the problems that Lily is having is that, I do think she paces herself through the week, but there's just a lot of work and it's hard to get it all done. And, there's nothing like a deadline to get it all done. And so she's always up late on Sunday night and getting it all done. And then she says, she feels like she turns it all in at 11:53, and then she knows in 7 minutes, all the assignments, there's a new assignment. It's like there's never a mental break. And so I just wonder if maybe for like the going forward, maybe after fall break, if there might be some, and this could be unpopular with some people because it'd be less time, but maybe if the deadline could be noon on Sunday, or if it could be Saturday at midnight, or just something so there's some kind of mental, do you know what I'm trying to say?
No, I hear you. I hear you. And we are seeing, and by and far, majority of kids that are struggling, time management for kids, especially for our 7th graders, our 6th and 7th graders that aren't used to doing a lot of work on their own. Time management's really been an issue. One thing I've really been working with parents on is ways to keep kids on track and keep them on a schedule. And a lot of people are accomplishing that by using their cell phones and setting alarms for their live Zoom so they can attend and when they need to be working on certain classes. But I completely understand what you're saying about the mental break, because it has been, and I would say not only for the kids but for the teachers and for the administrators, an ongoing process. For it never ends. I understand exactly what you're saying, but I can meet with the team and see if we can. I don't know if that's possible because I believe it may be a district policy, but I will look into it for you though. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Before we continue, I know that some people have probably have some questions about homecoming or what might be happening with that.
Okay.
Or anything.
So homecoming, I haven't seen the committee's last email, but I believe so because of COVID. We had a couple ideas that are just not going to be possible because of the gathering of a lot of people. So, but what we are still planning on doing, Miss Edwards, who is our student council sponsor, she is going to have a couple things for kids to do, or different kind of contests. And I think she's pushing that out, or she has. I honestly don't know, and I'm sorry. But we still are going to have the regular homecoming festivities at the football game. That evening we will have a court, and she has actually changed up the way that we're doing the court this year to get more kids involved in different areas. So I will push something out, or have her push something out to the parents describing kind of what that's going to look like tomorrow afternoon. Okay.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you. Ms. McAnany?
So a couple of things is all of your students are enrolled in an advisory class, and this is a mandatory class by our district this year, and it is credit bearing. So your students are going to receive a 0.25 credit for the fall semester and a 0.25 credit for the spring semester, and they will receive a grade. The grade is based on the number of tasks or activities that the student has completed. Advisory is not what we knew advisory to be in the past. It's very geared, very targeted to the student's particular grade level. Think of it as the old homeroom, or sometimes I like to refer to it as like a super target, where it's kind of a one-stop shop to get your information. So our students that are doing concurrent enrollment or Tulsa Technology Center programs that cannot live Zoom or be synchronous with their advisory teacher, all of those are recorded as well, so that students can go back and capture the information that was presented in their grade-specific advisory class. So as far as assessments, last year we did something called MAP testing. That was grade 6 through 10. This year, because we're using new platforms with the state and the district, we're doing diagnostic testing, grade 6 through 12. And students will take 3 self-paced diagnostic assessments, one in math, reading, and English, 3 times during the school year. Those diagnostic assessments are already loaded on the students' page, their Clever page, and the math and the English teachers will tell the students when the testing window is. And again, it's nothing more but a diagnostic test. And Mr. Vinyard had sent out an email to our families explaining what it measures exactly. The one benefit about using the exact path testing is that teachers are going to be able to see students that may be struggling or have a lot of gaps that need to be filled, whether it's because of standards that they've missed or academic skills, and they can put the student on a personal learning path. So it does provide some acceleration and reinforcement for a lot of our students. And so those are grades 6 through 12. And again, it's actually really important because we really need to know where our students are, because they have not been assessed for quite some time, and especially our seniors, our current seniors have not had a formal assessment since their sophomore year. So that's going to be important. The PSAT is coming up. Our district will provide us a go, no-go date, but we are planning forward to administer that test in person on October the 29th. So all of our sophomores have, they've been provided with a survey link, both the parents and the student, just to make sure that we've captured everyone. We've been doing this for the past 3 weeks. We need to know how many of our sophomores are going to feel comfortable to come to our school to do an in-person test. And we also had a link that was sent out to our juniors to come into the school and take the PSAT as well. For the juniors, the cost is $19 unless the student qualifies for free or reduced lunch. And that is the qualifying year for the National Merit Scholarship competition, and there's an additional $500 million in scholarship money that's available to students that perform well on that particular test. The safety concerns are paramount for us, and so all students that are taking the test must wear a mask at all times. We are going to have staggered start times so that students aren't congregating. We are keeping kids in pods of 10, and we will have different entrances for the different grade levels. The district is going to provide grab and go snacks, breakfast, and lunch for the students. So basically they can grab a breakfast, kind of eat it on their way to their testing room. There are 2 scheduled breaks. They will provide one of those breaks, snacks for a break for kids. And then the lunch, the students will grab and go a lunch and leave. I will be sending out a survey to all of our test takers just because you can imagine the preparation and the planning needs to be pretty detailed so that the nutritional team will have enough food or not have too much food for our students that want to have that. We're also going to encourage all of our kids to bring their own water bottles. They really need to bring their own water bottles because the water fountains will be shut down and our vending machines have not been loaded. Students are also able to bring their own snack if they want, but they can only access that during the scheduled break time because we have to follow our PSAT or our College Board guidelines. So that is the PSAT. If for some reason a student misses that, there is a winter testing option in January, and that would be January the 26th. And then that would be the last opportunity for any sophomore or junior to take the PSAT exam. We are going to offer study sessions for our kids, and I have emailed out the practice exams to our juniors this evening. Because we have so many kids that have actually signed up to take this test, I can't imagine that they're really wanting to come here and take a test. I think they're wanting to get out of the house and do something kind of normal or what they think is normal. Our study sessions will be set up virtually with Mrs. Coffey and Mrs. Phillips. And we'll send out a Zoom link invite to our students so that we can best serve them in smaller groups instead of a massive like 250 student study session. So we've got Exact Path, which is diagnostic testing for all of our kids. We have the PSAT, which all of the planning is underway. Tomorrow is the last day for our sophomores to commit if they would like to come. We've already finished the registration for our juniors, so we're good there. AP testing. So all of our students that are enrolled in an advanced placement class on their My AP Classroom platform, is where they need to commit to taking the exam or not. So those students will go into their My AP account and say yes or no, and then they will go into their total registration account where they actually register for the exam and make payment. And that deadline is October the 23rd. So if a student decides after October the 23rd that they want to take a test, the College Board is going to impose a late fee of $40 per exam. So it's important that kids, even if they're on the fence, that they go ahead and say, yes, I want to take the test, because we don't want them to incur that late fee. What kind of questions do you have for me? Oops, I can't hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Now, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so I'm a parent of a senior and kind of a designated senior class representative.
Okay.
We did not get to take the ACT last year.
Correct.
Kind of on our own to go out and get that.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So, and any kind of college prep, is that happening in their advisory classes? Because I'm not hearing from Dory that is happening now. I do have a daughter that doesn't tell me everything. So should that be happening in their advisory? Like, they need to be writing a resume. They need to be doing all this stuff. Is that happening in their advisory?
Yes. So in their advisory, and I'm glad you brought that up, Tara, because as a parent, you can join or observe in your student.
I do the observer. Okay.
Okay. So you can see what the content is that's being pushed out by the district. And we have an advisory committee at the school. So when that content is pushed out to teachers, we review it first to make sure that it's robust enough for our students, our clientele, our population.
Just because I'm just seeing, and this is, and I'm in a bubble, so I just see what my daughter, and she's not like, anyway.
Right. So,
I'm not seeing a lot of content of, hey, let's prep. This is time. It is time now. We need to start getting ready.
Right. So some of the things that the district will push out, we may override, and because we think the timing is going to be more important to do. Right. So some things that I know that are coming out are all the students are going to learn how to navigate through the new Collegiate Center counseling page, where they're going to find scholarships, ACT, all of that stuff in one site. Okay, one site. So they're not going to.
So they will get this information. Like, she's 18 now. So yeah, I'm 18, Mom. I don't. So they will be getting this, and then they will learn how to navigate throughout there. Okay. Yes.
Okay. And so, Mr. Vinyard and I were actually looking at that particular Collegiate Center page to make sure
within the Edison website.
No, it's not going to be on the Edison website. And so what's going to happen is the students will get the Collegiate Center page. It'll be loaded on their own Canvas account. So where they see that they have 8 classes, their traditional 7 classes plus advisory, they'll also have the Collegiate Center for high school. Okay. So everything will be in one place for our kids. So yes, the seniors, the class of 2021s, did not get the free SAT.
Yeah.
They're not going to get a free SAT or ACT unless they qualify for a fee waiver, which we have fee waivers. Right. So we will push out for students to show them they have to register on their own through College Board or ACT.org to be able to take the test. And so, it's important.
Well, but even beyond that, I felt like with my older girls within school, they taught them how to write their resume. They taught them how to navigate the what do you call it, the Common App. They taught them all this stuff, and
all of that is very, very near. That for students to get the best way to get prepared for the SAT, if they choose to do that, is to do it through Khan Academy. And it's linking their College Board account to Khan Academy, because all of these seniors took the PSAT as sophomores, and some of them, they have taken it as juniors.
Which means they all have an account there.
They all have an account. And so when they say, I don't remember, I can't get in my account, they have to do something that's called call the College Board, and they provide a phone number. And so the student actually needs to call. We cannot call on the student's behalf.
Okay, and
That
I'm sorry I keep interrupting you, but that is just for the SAT.
Yes.
Right.
So
right.
for the ACT, there's a program if a student wants to do, it's called actacademy.org, and it's like Khan Academy on steroids. So since our students have not taken an ACT product,
Right. They're not registered.
no, they will go on to actacademy.org and take a prescriptive test. And with that prescriptive test, ACT Academy will do a personalized tutorial for those students. So as you know, the ACT and the SAT are two kind of different tests.
Sure.
So it's really good for students to take both of those to see
Right.
which ones they do best at. Now,
Okay.
the district has shut, since we don't have students on our campus, the district has shut our testing site down. So
Yeah,
we
James and Bishop Kelly are still doing it. Dory's taking it on Saturday. Here's my question. And you know what, Ms. McAnany, this might be just a Zoom that you and I need to do for seniors, because I want to push this out to seniors as well. And I know I'm taking up a lot of time here because I could have 100 questions. But if they went on, like Dory went on and created an account at ACT to take her test, then she can now she has an account, and she can but they didn't do it during school, she can still do this ACT Academy, right?
Oh
Since
yeah,
she has created the
absolutely.
account. Okay.
ACT Academy, and I keep saying .org because you're
Okay.
going to the right spot. And
Got
as you said, we may need to set up a Zoom.
I
just
feel
for
like we do.
our parents for seniors and our parents for juniors. Now,
Absolutely.
the juniors will get the free SAT in the spring, and they also will have to take the 2 state mandated tests. Our seniors, since they missed the state mandated test and the SAT, that will not be a graduation requirement for them.
Very good.
But
Okay.
it still will be for our juniors and beyond. Also, through the advisory is also where every student is doing what's called a ICAP assignment. And that's the individual college academic or college academic plan. And the students get to these activities through a platform called Naviance. And so you can talk to your kids and they'll already tell you they know what that is.
Okay.
For your seniors and your juniors, it's already taking them through writing resumes, the Common App, contacting colleges, how do you get your transcript, things such as that.
It is within there. Okay.
And for your class of 2022, so our sophomores, they have to complete a certain number of requirements in ICAP because it is now a graduation requirement.
Okay.
So ICAP is important. Every student, grades 6 through 12, are doing ICAP assignments within their advisory class.
Rachel, I don't think it's a graduation requirement until 2023, correct?
It's our, I think it's our 2020, I'm sorry, it is our 2023s.
Yes.
That is our sophomores, correct.
Yep. I didn't want to freak out the junior parents.
No, you just freaked me out, but that's okay. No, it is our 2023s, sorry.
Okay.
And that is a graduation requirement. Now, our seniors, CPR is still a graduation requirement.
What is CPR?
CPR.
Oh, CPR. Yes. Okay. Sorry. Wait a minute. All these acronyms. What the heck? Okay. CPR. Got it.
The state and the district have not waived that requirement as of yet. I am working with someone in the district to be able to do something that's virtually that would count as that graduation requirement. So more to come on that.
How about the financial literacy?
Yes, every student has to complete personal financial literacy, and that's also an assignment through their ICAP or their advisory class to try to move these kids along.
I think Dory already completed it in another class, but I just want to put this out to parents. Hey, these are the CPR is still a requirement and the financial literacy is still a requirement.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So far, there are no class of 2021 graduation requirements that have been lifted.
Okay. Interesting. Hey, okay. All right. And you and I, can we maybe, I'll email you and maybe we could have a senior Zoom meeting soon.
Yes, and that would probably be good for junior parents, for sophomore parents as well, as we go through all the testing and requirements and things such as that.
Very good. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay,
Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
Tara, can I add one thing to that?
Yes.
In the current advisory modules for the seniors, there are links for the FAFSA, and there's also
Good.
links for the TCC enrollment.
Perfect.
You know, remember that's
These are
free
the-
tuition.
Okay. So that's within advisory. I thought it should be
That is
advisory.
in advisory right now. It doesn't jump right out at you. It's in, I think it was about a week or two ago, but it is definitely in there. And I know I really emphasize how important it is for the kids to get it done.
Absolutely. I will put that out there. I don't like I said, she's 18. I turned 18, Mom. I'm not going to show you every, so.
The district is also going to plan a virtual college fair
Oh, very good.
for our students. And our students also, it was pushed out through advisory. There were some other virtual college fairs that other universities that aren't typically, we don't have a large amount of kids going to. They've been setting those up as well. What we're going to do as a school is on Wednesdays, we're going to be contacting a lot of the college reps that we usually see and schedule those through the day since students don't have a synchronous class. So students that might be interested in a smaller group talking with the OU rep or the OSU rep or the TCC rep, we will take that on and also offer that.
So the kids, so you would put, okay, here's a day that the OU rep is there and the kids can all get on that Zoom class or something like that.
Yes,
or
ma'am.
Individual kids schedule a time to talk.
Yes.
Oh,
So
no.
what we're looking to do to try to make it easier for students is, since they do not have classes, synchronous classes on Wednesdays, we will schedule some of the college reps to have a virtual session with our students as a group. For example, we may say 9 o'clock is University of Arkansas, and 10 o'clock we have Oklahoma State, 11 o'clock we have University of Oklahoma, and students can kind of pop in and out of those particular sessions to learn some more information, just in a smaller, more intimate group.
Very good. Okay. That's all good information I can push off to these people. Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions or any comments? All right. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Vinyard. Thank you, Ms. McAnany. We really
We'll see you guys later.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.